to teach something, if you're going to portray something, know what you're talking about. And the reason why I had to get out is because they didn't know what you're talking about. And there's different types now. There's some who are wacko, and then there's some that are cool. So, so it's not about just the label. It's just I don't choose to call myself that anymore. But I did learn a lot while I was there. A whole lot. So, exactly, and that whole thing, oh, you gotta, you know, it's all right to have two 10 wives and you can't take care of yourself. No. So I shall not want. Let's say how powerful that is. I shall not want. That means I shall not lack. Want is lack, okay? I shall not sit up here and not have any good thing that I want, right? Exactly. In every faith, there's some that are cuckoo. Even in witchcraft, even in magic, there's some cuckoo and there's some that are cool. So that goes, exactly. If you're going to have some extra, let me have 2 or 10 husbands. 2 to 10 husbands. That actually, to me, would seem more efficient. But okay, whatever. Okay. So, I shall not want. I shall not lack or desire or have to say, I need this, that, or the other thing. Period. That one verse is powerful. So, you are declaring and saying, I like this word, decreeing that you shall not want because you trust in source energy, the unseen realm, okay? Because the unseen is what manifests the seen. So, one verse already powerful, right? He makes me lie down, or you could say she, or source energy, makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still and restful waters. He refreshes and restores my life. And I know the King James restores my soul. And your soul is your source energy, okay? He leads me in the paths of righteousness and right standing with him, not for my earning it, but for his name's sake. Just because you're here. Just because you exist, you have everything you need, okay? Just because you are a child of the universe, a child of God, you are automatically as the universe is. And if you actually do any study on the universe and its properties, principles, laws, and mannerisms and the way it works out, you will see that it's about expansion. It's about abundance. There's no lack or want in the universe, okay? Or on the earth, period. All the lack and stuff that we perceive is false. People say there's not enough food to feed everybody. That's ridiculous. If you put a seed in the ground, it will produce. Do you know how many seeds? Now, when you get a real watermelon with real seeds, or a cantaloupe, have you ever opened a cantaloupe and seen how many seeds are in there? How many more cantaloupes will that seed produce? It'll produce another cantaloupe, and then it'll have hundreds of seeds. Well, about 100 seeds in that cantaloupe. How abundant is that? That's a cycle that keeps going around and around and around. So that's the first illusion people need to get out of their heads. There's not enough food. If we would stop hoarding the land, you know, saying that you have to pay for this land here in order to get on it, which, you know, there's ways to up your abundance so you can purchase land. Yeah, you should eat things with seeds, most definitely. You can purchase land and you grow food. Now you have food to eat forever. Like the seeds keep, every time you cut open a tomato, every time you cut open an avocado, every time you cut open a cucumber, there is more abundance in the cucumber. Most people have been taught from habit and stuff to just throw it away. They scoop out all the cantaloupe seeds, they scoop out or they spit out the watermelon seeds or whatever, and they throw them away. No, you get you a piece of newspaper and you put them in the sun, you dry them out, and then you plant them again. And you could do container gardens, all that. There's abundance. That's one way there's abundance, okay? We ain't run out of oxygen yet. There's big oceans full of water. There is abundance everywhere. It's no such thing as lack. So get the illusion that, oh, there's not enough food. Yes, there is. Over in Africa, they should be tilling grounds and planting food. That would be the way to get rid of the hunger process. There's no reason for anybody to lack. No matter how broke you are, you can panhandle, get a couple of dollars, go buy you some food and plant something somewhere. The universe will support that. Trust me. Don't want nobody to bother you. Read Psalms 91 if you feel like people are bothering you. And that will get them off your back. Okay? And you don't have to do any spells or anything to do that. It's just speaking the word, okay? So, yes, I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. I will fear or dread no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, your rod to protect me and your staff to guide me, they comfort me. Okay, the rod and staff, not about beating your kids. They always be talking about, you know, spare the rod, spoil the child. That ain't what the book talking about. It's talking about protecting and guiding your children. Just so you know. Pass that along, please, so people stop beating their kids thinking that that's what the Bible told them to do. No. You prepare a table for me in the presence of my enemies. So, what's that saying? That even with all these things coming up against you, you still have a table prepared for you. What's on the table, your food, the abundance and all that stuff. And you still sitting here eating, getting what you need, even though you got all this stuff against you. Okay? So, they're sitting there looking at it like, oh, we try to stop her or him. We try to stop them from getting what they need, but yet they're still eating. You have to have that mental image. And as I do this stuff, I actually see that in my head. I'm sitting here with this big banquet table. Visualization is very powerful. Thank you for inviting followers. Visualization is very, very powerful. So as you're sitting here and you're reading, as you're reading this passage, you can imagine yourself sitting at a huge banquet. And every obstacle that's come up against you, it could be a person, it could be a boss, it could be an ex, it could be your parents, it could be whoever. And you can see them sitting at the table. And even though they tried to stop you, you know, it could be someone who abused you. This is like dealing with the shadows and stuff like that, doing shadow work and dealing with those things that are blocking you. And if your parents always told you never going to amount to anything, or they had that poverty consciousness, you know, saying money don't grow on trees, when it do, because money is made out of paper. And last time I checked, trees, they make paper out of trees, so money doesn't grow on trees. So you can see whatever has come up in your life as an obstacle to stop you from doing you or to getting ahead in life. You can see them sitting in front of you, and you can see yourself eating and being taken care of. You can have like servants coming to you and taking care of you and handing you, you know, a napkin or handing you a fork or whatever, and you're just eating and being abundant, and yet all those enemies are sitting right there. That's a visualization you can do as you do. Thank you so much for all these hearts. That's a visualization you can do as you're reading this passage and as you're infusing that power into your sweetening jar, okay? Because you're programming the water. So now your subconscious mind says, hold up, we're abundant. And despite all these obstacles and despite all these things sitting here that have tried to keep us back, we're still eating. We're still taken care of. So our table has been prepared. Okay. Let's see. You anoint my head with oil. My cup runneth over. I watched the replay. I told what was in it in the beginning, okay? So I can keep going. But watch the replay. I did tell what was in the jar. It's basically water and sugar and some herbs and stuff, okay? So, cup running over. Let's talk about that. When Lisa Nichols, one awesome motivational speaker, she used this analogy. When you're dealing with people, never give them from your cup. Never give to other people from your cup. Your own personal cup. Look at it like this. You have a cup and you have a saucer. You know, the little thing you put under your teacup or whatever. When you're pouring things in, you want people to not take from your cup, but from your overflow. Your cup running over. They get what's in the saucer. So you fill yourself up, you take care of you first, and they get the overflow. Okay? So in life, we don't just get enough. We get more than enough. And when we have more than enough, we can give of that excess. So each person should realize that they have more than enough. They can draw to them more than enough. They can draw not just abundance, but an overabundance. Okay? If you remember, what did Jesus say? He said, have life and have it what? More abundantly. More, but not just abundantly, but more abundantly. So we want to give people from our overflow. So we want to say my cup runneth over. You anoint my head with oil, and my cup runneth over. Okay? So overflow, overabundance, more than enough. Abundance produces abundance. Yes, each tree produces things after its own kind. So if you already have abundance, we're going to have more abundance, overflow, okay? So surely, like this too, only goodness, mercy, and unfailing love shall follow me all the days of my life, and through the length of my days, the house of the Lord shall be my dwelling place. And you know, it says in the King James, I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. So, this is forever. This is every day. And I actually put in there, I said, goodness and abundance will stalk me. I am showing a prosperity and abundance spell. You can watch the replay to see the whole thing. So, and welcome. Thank you for showing up. So, you say, just as sweet the water runs, right? The water flows, as sweet as this water is, it flows to me. It's sticky because, you know, water, my hands are sticking after dealing with it. And it stalks me. I want goodness and abundance and perfection and all this stuff to stalk me. I want to, every time I turn around, somebody's trying to hand me something. Every time I turn around, somebody's trying to give me something or elevate me or whatever it is, you know, clients, if it's money, if it's love, whatever, stalk me. Like, come for me. I don't mind. You know, I'm not going to tell you no. Like, come for me. So, every day, and to dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Or abundant source energy forever. And like I said, you can change that name. Don't feel bad about it. Why? Because they changed it anyway. They changed it first. The people who wrote this book or put it together, the Hebrews who had it and they were writing it, the scribes or whatever, they changed from the original YHWH, which has a very metaphysical background to it. They changed it to Lord. And if you know anything about the Jewish tradition, they wouldn't even say God. They wouldn't even write it. They'll write G and then like leave out the O and put a D, like G-G. That's how sacred the name is to them, right? So they won't even speak it. So that's why they changed it. That's short history about that. So yes, that's it. So let's see. Okay, so I did that. And I told you what I put in my jar. And I spoke all those words, the 23rd Psalms, like they do in Hoodoo, over the jar. Then I closed it. And you see I have this lid here. And like I said, I got this jar for $1 at the Dollar Tree. It used to be a candle. There was a candle in here. When I burnt the candle down, I put it in the freezer. You can crack it and throw away the wax and wash it out. I cleaned it for ammonia and wiped it down with a white cloth. And then I put my ingredients in. And then you shake it. And you have to shake this every day. I'm actually going to shake this 3 times a day. And there's a bay leaf in there, there's cinnamon, there's some quartz crystals and sunstone. Now, let's get back to what I said earlier about this rough sunstone that I purchased. Okay? And the properties of it. And the sun is shining. It's like right in my face now. It's beautiful. Offers mental clarity and connects one with positive thoughts, sheds lights on obstacles, and brings luck and good fortune. Now, like I've been telling you, our natural state is abundance and prosperity. Is expansion, not contraction, okay? Contraction is not good. Expansion is good, okay? Even in our bodies, when our blood vessels contract and constrict, we get high blood pressure. That's not good. So, what I gained from this ritual this morning, I told you start at 5:45, and that's bringing things to you. The hands of the clock are going towards 6. And then at 6 a.m., that's when the sun rises, or, you know, it's a general, I know the sun sets and rises at, you know, sometimes it's like around 5 and all that stuff. And then it goes from the hour, and then it starts going down, okay? So when I lit the candle at 5:45, I was preparing my tools and speaking my words and saying my prayers over it and stuff. Then, when it hit 6, I started getting some really interesting insight. And this stone actually helps with that. And when I bought it, I was just drawn to it, you know. And now I see why. So, sheds light on obstacles. So, since our natural state is prosperity. Hello, I'm wonderful. How are you? So since our natural state is prosperity, the only thing that's keeping you from your prosperity is some